From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, March 26th. We're in for a calmer day today, thank goodness. We'll have a few showers linger throughout the morning for areas north of I-70, but sunshine creeps back in this afternoon. The winds will gradually die down throughout the day with highs in the mid-50s. But there will be a nice weekend warm-up for your Saturday with partly cloudy skies. Highs will be in the low 70s. Some storm chances creep back in Saturday night. Sunday will be cooler with dry with highs in the mid-50s. But Alabama didn't dodge this severe weather. This morning, there is a frantic search for survivors. Crews there are going through what's left of homes after tornadoes roared through the state. The National Weather Service says at least 8 twisters touched down yesterday, including one that traveled 100 miles. For perspective, that's about the distance between Indianapolis and Louisville. A mobile home neighborhood just south of Birmingham is largely destroyed. There and elsewhere today starts a long process of recovering and rebuilding.
It's kind of devastating because, I worked my whole life to put this stuff in this house, and then it just ripped away in 1 second,
A local sheriff says 5 people are dead after a twister hit rural areas in the eastern part of the state. PowerOutage.us reported more than 25,000 homes and businesses in Alabama were without power as of 6 o'clock this morning. And there are new criminal charges filed against 3 people over the murder of a man in Carmel. Carmel police say Francis Kelly was found dead in a home on Howell Drive in Carmel on January 8th. That's near 146th and Oak Ridge Road. Authorities ruled his death a homicide, but did not say how he died. Police announced last night that Heidi Littlefield of Sheridan is charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. The department says Logan Runyon and Robert Walker are also facing similar charges in the case. 1,018,521. That is the state's current count of people who are now fully vaccinated against the coronavirus. The state health department says that's almost 16% of the state's population. Marion County has given out the most, more than 121,000 shots. Another 500,000 people in the state have had their first dose of a 2-shot version. Mobile clinics will help more people in Indianapolis get their shots. The first is set for today and tomorrow at Eastern Star Church. The mobile sites will help vaccinate people in underserved communities.
To truly thrive, it means that every neighborhood must also thrive. And for us to emerge from the pandemic as one city, it remains critical that each and every one of us continue to do our part.
Lilly and IU are helping the city run the vaccination sites. 3 others are planned next month. Light of the World Christian Church, the Mexican Consulate, and Riverside Park will host those. Dates haven't been set yet. And central Indiana counties are going in different directions when it comes to a mask mandate. County commissioners in Hamilton County are meeting today to decide if masks will be required going forward. Johnson County will follow the state's lead, going from a mandate to an advisory starting April 6th. Masks will still be required in Marion County when that transition happens next month. Dr. Virginia Kane from the Marion County Health Department says Indianapolis is on the right track with its coronavirus numbers, but she warns this is not the time to let your guard down.
While our numbers are improved from what we saw last summer, we cannot be lulled into a false sense of security. We are near the end of the race. We can see the finish line, but we have not yet crossed it.
Marion County will also keep its capacity restrictions in place going forward. And as Indianapolis prepares for the Sweet 16, there are nearly 1,000 workers and volunteers making sure the tournament continues safely. It's a team inside and supporting the IU Health Pathology Lab, where all of the COVID-19 tests are processed. Thousands of COVID-19 tests each and every day. IU Health is handling the tests for every player, coach, support staff, official, to make sure our country can get lost in the madness of the NCAA tournament during the pandemic. Nina Criscolo reports.
Player, coaches, anyone who's getting tested that day comes in this door.
The process is streamlined.
We have volunteers in the rooms who are working with, as the teams come in, they're running them through the process of swabbing.
Because it has to be.
It's mission critical. I mean, if we are able to
detect the virus as part of this tournament. We can ensure that we're isolating players or coaches or staff or any other folks associated with the tournament.
Before the Sweet 16 games even start, IU Health's pathology lab has already completed about 18,000 COVID-19 tests.
That peaked at 3,600 over one 24-hour period.
And when he says 24 hours, he means it. This lab is operating way outside of the typical 9 to 5.
Tests come in, the results come in at all hours of the day and night.
The team is handling it like a well-trained top seed offense. Instead of passing the ball around the key, it's collecting tests, transporting them, processing them, and the jump shot results in 6 to 8 hours. And that's thanks to the same type of preparation the teams go through before arriving to the tournament.
Just like practicing for a game, once you get in the game, things can be a little more intense and a little different, and so you have to react in the moment. Our team members have responded with enthusiasm. Their expertise has been on full display.
But the nearly 850 volunteers and more than 50 full-time staff say it's worth it to bring this sports tradition back for the millions of fans.
To be able to have a sense of hope and a return to some normalcy. Our ability to perform this testing is enabling that.
To be able to be a part of this and put something on that wasn't able to happen last year is incredibly important to us, and we're just honored to be a part of it.
Again, that was Nina Criscolo reporting. Now, by the time it is said and done, IU Health says it'll have processed somewhere between 25,000 and 28,000 tests during their partnership with the NCAA here in Indianapolis. 2 Sweet 16 head coaches are praising local healthcare workers and volunteers for the work they've done making the NCAA tournament possible. This morning, we're hearing from the Michigan and Florida State coaches who call bringing 68 teams into one state an incredible feat. The coaches say everyone is feeling safe while they're here.
Everyone has been all hands on deck in making this transition and making every team, I'm speaking of every college team, be comfortable while being here and also safe.
I cannot say how impressed I am with how they put this tournament together, how well it's organized, and how much thought must have gone into trying to come up with this organized event.
The NCAA and the Marion County Health Department are working to keep athletes physically and mentally healthy.
What we're doing now is attempting to rebuild the system that can accommodate what is happening today.
President Biden is defending his policies at the southern border. During his first news conference as president, Biden faced several questions yesterday about how his administration is handling increasing numbers of migrants coming to the U.S. Biden addressed criticism that his decisions are leading the rush. He says numbers rise during the first 3 months of every year.
The reason they're coming is that it's the time they can travel with the least likelihood of dying on the way because of the heat in the desert, number one. Number two, they're coming because of the circumstances in country.
Biden says he has a plan going forward to work with some Central American countries to discuss why migrants are coming to the U.S. He's promising $700 million a year in aid to improve countries so their people don't want to leave. Biden is also ordering an Army base in Texas to make space for about 5,000 unaccompanied minors. As we've talked about here on the podcast, we've reported on Daybreak, the U.S. is currently expelling the majority of people, adults, single adults arriving, and families that are arriving at the border. And the CDC says, as of this morning, more than 133 million coronavirus vaccine doses have been administered in the United States. President Biden is now doubling his initial vaccine goal for the country.
We will, by my 100th day in office, have administered 200 million shots in people's arms. That's right, 200 million shots in 100 days. I know it's ambitious, twice our original goal, but no other country in the world has even come close, not even close.
The president is also pledging nearly $10 billion to expand access to shots for the hardest hit and highest risk communities.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Soo, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
A weekend mission will work to make sure more Latinos have access to COVID-19 vaccines. There are nearly 100,000 Latinos in Marion County. City leaders say only 3,000 or so have been vaccinated. Several groups are hosting a registration day in Spanish tomorrow. Bilingual volunteers will be by the phone starting at 8 in the morning and until 8 at night. A doctor will also be available for any questions about the vaccine.
Some people, they don't speak English. Some of them, they don't know the website. Some of them, they don't know how to navigate the system. Some of them are confused with the whole process of registration, who qualify, what do they need. Everything is confused for them. So here we are answering questions.
We have more information about the hotline, including the phone number under the top stories section of wishtv.com. Brownsburg leaders are putting off a major decision again. A proposed sports complex is now set for a vote April 8th. The town council tabled the vote for a second straight meeting last night. Council members say they still have questions about the bond that will back the complex. The plan calls for the use of economic development taxes. Opponents say that's not appropriate for the project. We talked to the Little League president, and he tells us he's staying hopeful that it moves forward.
Well, it's unfortunate that it's delayed, but we've been waiting for years, so we can wait another 2 weeks to hear what they have to say. And they're doing their due diligence for the taxpayers, and we understand that. Obviously, we'd like to move the project along, but that's how the process works, so we'll be patient with it.
Our Dan Klein reports that because of legal timelines, the council cannot delay a vote on the project again. Georgia's governor signs a sweeping elections bill that imposes new voting restrictions. It requires new voter identification for absentee ballots. It lets state officials take over local election boards. It limits the use of ballot drop boxes and makes it a crime to bring food and water to people waiting in line to vote. Supporters say it's necessary to boost confidence in elections. Opponents say it's voter suppression. One Georgia state representative was arrested for protesting the bill while it was being signed. She was released overnight. 111 people died because of last month's massive winter storm in Texas. That's a new number from the state's health department. It's nearly double the number reported earlier. The storm led to one of the most wide-ranging power outages in U.S. history. Texas health officials say most deaths are related to hypothermia. Others died from car crashes, carbon monoxide poisoning, medical equipment failures, and from other things. Dozens more people died in other southern states. Today, there is the possibility of new information on the Colorado grocery store shooting. Boulder police are scheduled to hold a press conference later today. The police chief and Boulder County District Attorney are planning to speak. And getting out of jail on bond is not an option for the man accused of killing the 10 people at the King Soopers. A judge made that ruling during the suspect's first appearance in court. Ahmad Alyssa is charged with 10 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. The defense is asking for time to assess Alyssa's mental health. A judge says the next court hearing will happen sometime in the next 2 to 3 months. And police used the handcuffs from the slain police officer in Boulder to arrest the suspect. The Boulder Police Department posted on Twitter that officers told the suspect the cuffs came from Officer Eric Talley, the Ball State grad killed in the shooting. The department called the move a distinct honor, tweeting, "Though this was a small gesture, we hope it is the start of the healing process that so many of us need at this time." And funeral arrangements are set for Officer Talley. Boulder police say his funeral will be next Tuesday, March 30th. Organizers are asking people to watch on a live stream. Attendance at the ceremony will be limited because of pandemic restrictions. And today, there will be a vigil to honor the 4 people killed in an Indianapolis quadruple homicide. Organizers plan to say a prayer and release balloons for Daquan Moore, Anthony Johnson Jr., Eve Moore, and Tamika Brown. It's going to be at 338 North Randolph Street. That's where the four were killed earlier this month, in what police say started as an argument over stimulus money. A fifth person was shot but survived. Malik Halfacre is facing charges in the killings. The vigil is set for 6 o'clock in the evening. Crews are working to get a ship stuck in the Suez Canal out of the way so shipping can resume, limiting the economic fallout, which is huge. The cargo ship is holding up traffic that carries nearly $10 billion worth of goods every day. There will be less direct impact on the United States. That's because we receive most shipments from Asia on the West Coast. Still, imports from Europe may be delayed. The logjam could compound issues for a supply chain already under pressure from the pandemic and a surge in buying. Now to business headlines. U.S. health advisors sharply criticized an experimental arthritis drug co-developed by Pfizer and Eli Lilly and Company, saying that it was too risky, even with limits on its use. The panel says its benefits don't outweigh the risks. In studies, a small percentage of participants saw their joint damage get worse faster, sometimes requiring hip or knee replacements. Others had swelling or nerve damage. In some, healthy joints were damaged. Analysts predicted sales of the drug, if approved, would range from $500 million to more than $1.4 billion a year. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said its no sale order will remain in place until November 1st for cruise ships. Cruise Lines International Association asked to lift the order several months early. The industry says the CDC didn't take into account the changes cruise lines have made to make sailing safe. Some cruise lines will sail outside of the U.S. for vaccinated travelers. The Federal Trade Commission issued a warning that fraudsters are sending through email and text surveys about the vaccine. Potential victims are asked to take a survey about their shot experience and are promised a gift in exchange for doing so. They only have to pay a small shipping fee first. Would-be victims are asked to fork over their credit card number. Although more than half of Americans have been burdened with medical debt, nearly everyone, 93%, who negotiates a medical bill has their bill reduced or dropped altogether. The Lending Tree survey says the top drivers of medical debt are often unpredictable, unavoidable procedures. These include emergency room visits, doctor or specialist visits, childbirth, and dental care. 3 in 4 people who have had medical debt tried to negotiate their bill. Nearly all of those who did negotiate had their bill reduced or dropped altogether. The American Pet Products Association says the industry generated $103.6 billion in annual sales, the industry's highest figure to date. $42 billion was spent on pet food and treats, representing a 9% increase from 2019. The rest was spent on supplies, medication, and veterinarian visits. Foster and adoption rates did skyrocket at the height of the pandemic. And today we have a look at the future of the Indy 500. Test laps are set this morning for 4 top drivers. IMS says they'll demonstrate a feature coming in 2023, a hybrid motor push-to-pass system. As in years past, the push-to-pass will give drivers more power for a few seconds at a time. But the next generation cars will get that boost from an electric motor. The technology is still in development, but teams will offer a choreographed demonstration of it at 10 o'clock this morning. Also this morning, shoes honoring an iconic Indiana team are almost gone. It appears many people were eager to get the Converse Crispus Attucks high tops. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and the school's athletic director says many sizes are sold out. So we've talked about these breaking down barriers, the collection from Converse. The shoes honor the first all-black basketball team to win an Indiana State basketball championship. School leaders say the shoes represent the good that comes from hard work.
It's not just about basketball. It's about impacting lives and impacting the futures of other student athletes that want to come through and play athletics here. We're still, trying to create those moments, create those lasting legacies, and then keep opening doors for others.
Converse will not be making more once the shoes are sold out. And it's about to get loud in Indianapolis arenas with the Sweet 16 games tipping off tomorrow. One of the city's landmarks is ready. The One America Building's marquee has a new basketball-themed message reading, "Why is March so loud? Because of all the brackets." Get it? So clever. First up, Loyola Chicago plays Oregon State tomorrow afternoon at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And finally,
Got it? We play hard. That's who we are. That's who you guys have been all year. Let's go make this.
The Hoosiers say there's no letting up now. The IU women's team is delivering the message on social media. They're about to play IU's first ever Sweet 16 game in the women's tournament. IU faces top seed NC State tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in San Antonio. Best of luck to them. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.